Hi everybody, I've got a Xinli cheap Chinese padlock here. Just going to rake it open. This is not primarily a picking video. Okay, that's only a few seconds to get that open. What I'm intending to do with this is disassemble it in a non-recoverable fashion, if you know what I mean. And the first thing you may notice is the odd finish on this. It's kind of very rough and slightly odd colour because it's actually just a cast. I guess a low-grade steel, and then it's been painted. Second thing I noticed was the shell is the core is got a chip out of it, which would further indicate kind of low-grade brittle material. I've got it open now. You can see the play in the where the shackle meets the core there. Now on this side, I don't know if you can see that, I need to move the light. Kind of inside, turn it around this way. You can see the latch mechanism here is doesn't even line up properly with the rest of the lock, but it does. I won't close it again, but it does work. I would imagine that's just for show, the one on the other side. I've already filed down one side of it. You can just about make out the entry points for the 5 driver pins. There's another larger plugged up hole at the top, which is where I assume the latching mechanism was inserted into the top of the lock. You can actually see where that is. I don't know if I actually just push that, that'll, yeah, you see that just comes right out. So yeah, that's you can see that's how the latch was inserted into the lock. So what I'm going to do, oh, there's one more thing on the other side. There's this little pin here, which I'm assuming is the locking pin for the core. So if I can get some pliers on that and pull it out, we should be able to extract the core. So I'm going to go and do that, and we'll see what's inside. Alright, so I've got that little pin out of the what's formerly in the side here, and yeah, once getting it apart, it's actually obvious what the pin's for. It's not for holding the core in, as I had thought. It's actually just to retain. It's just to retain the shackle, so it would push into this groove, and then that would just slide up and down, just allow the movement of the shackle there. Yeah, there's no yeah, the mechanism doesn't come out this side. The latch just works on this side. So on the shackle, you've got this extra notch in there, which is really just for show because it doesn't match up with anything in the core there. So, but that's normal for a cheapo lock. But that doesn't get us any further towards getting the core out. I did suspect maybe the 5th little circle may have been maybe like a phantom cut on the key, and that 5th one was actually the retaining pin, but I don't think it is. Having put the pick in and counted the pins, it does sound like a 5-pin lock. So I'm going to have to investigate this further in order to get the core out. Righto then, we've got about as far as we can go with this. I ended up getting the pins out, the pins and springs out through the side there. These little plugs in here were not very not very strong, so they came out quite readily. This is the core. Turns out my original suspicion was actually correct. It is just a 4-pin lock. The 5th pin just goes into this slot, and that just restricts the movement of the core. So it does turn out that the back pin here is it is not actually in use. You line it up with the core there. You can see where the cuts line up with the actual cylinders and the little slot there. So that's that. Now this is what I got out of the lock. Turn that up the other way. So I can zoom in a bit on this. So yeah, some pretty basic looking springs, pins I should say. They're almost spool-like, but they're so kind of roughly made, it's a bit hard to give them that name. That's the retaining pin, and the springs are just that they've been a bit chewed up just because of the extraction process. They all look like these two originally, I'm sure. So yeah, that's what's inside this Xinli lock. Anything left to do? Let's get all this stuff together, put it in the bin where it belongs. Thanks for watching, guys.